I grew up believing that if something's busted, you roll up your sleeves and fix it, especially when it comes to marriage. That's the way my folks raised me, and I took it to heart. I wasn't a perfect husband, but man, I poured everything I had into my wife, Valeria. For 14 years, we were a team, or so I thought. I picture us growing old together, sitting on a porch somewhere, laughing about the tough times we'd pushed through. But that dream got smashed to pieces on a random Tuesday that started out like any other day. It began with small stuff, things I barely noticed at first. Valeria's schedule shifted. She started staying late at work, claiming meetings that dragged on. Her phone was always face down, always on silent, like it was hiding something. She'd chuckle at texts she never showed me, brushing it off with a smirk when I asked. Kissing her goodnight felt like pressing my lips to a stranger. There was this icy distance in her touch. I figured it was stress, maybe something heavy she wasn't ready to share. "You okay, babe?" I'd ask, keeping my voice soft. "Just tired," she'd snap, flashing a fake, weary smile that screamed, "Leave me alone, idiot." I wanted to trust her, so I swallowed my doubts and did. Then came the night that changed everything. Valeria went to bed early, whining about a migraine, her voice sharp and dripping with annoyance, like I was the one causing it. I stayed up, sprawled on the couch, watching a baseball game. Later, I wandered into the study to send a work email. Her laptop was open, screen glowing, and a notification pinged in the corner. A social media message popped up from some guy named Travis. The preview hit me like a punch to the gut. "Last night was incredible, babe. I can still smell you on my sheets." My heart stopped, the room spun, and my hands shook like I was holding a live wire. I didn't click the message right away. I just stared frozen as the world slowed to a crawl. My stomach churned, and it felt like the floor had vanished beneath me. When I finally opened the chat, my worst fears came to life. They'd been talking for months. Hundreds of messages, photos, videos, hotel addresses, all woven into a secret world I wasn't part of. She'd shared things with him she never told me. Private thoughts, dreams, cruel little jokes about me, like I was some pathetic side character in her life. It wasn't just a fling. It was a whole other existence where I didn't matter. I closed the laptop, my hands numb. I didn't storm into the bedroom to confront her. I didn't yell. I just sat on the couch until dawn, staring at nothing. My eyes burned, but tears wouldn't come. Not yet. The next morning, I made breakfast like always. Eggs, toast, black coffee, just how she liked it. Valeria breezed in, her smile sharp and mocking, like she was humoring a child. "Ah, you're so sweet making me breakfast," she cooed, her voice laced with sarcasm as she pecked my cheek. I forced a smile, but inside, something was already dead. I went to work, acting normal, but every second, those messages replayed in my head. I saw her hands on him, her lips whispering words meant for me, tangled in hotel sheets with someone else. For 3 days, I stayed quiet. Maybe I was hoping it was a glitch, a nightmare I'd wake up from. Or maybe I was just bracing myself for the end. Saturday rolled around, and Valeria announced she was running errands, her tone smug, like she was daring me to question her. I waited until the door slammed shut, then gave it 15 more minutes in case. She doubled back. Then I walked into our bedroom, grabbed the biggest suitcase we owned, and started packing. I didn't touch her stuff, just my clothes, my passport, my laptop, even my razor from the bathroom. Every item I folded felt like a step toward freedom. I slipped off my wedding ring and left on her pillow, a silent goodbye to the life we'd built. The door creaked open behind me. I didn't turn around, just kept folding a shirt. "What the hell do you think you're doing?" Valeria shrieked, her voice like nails on a chalkboard, sharp with panic and venom. It was the first time in years I'd heard her sound rattled, and it felt oddly satisfying. She stormed into the room, her eyes blazing. "Answer me, you idiot! Why are you packing? What's wrong with you?" I zipped the suitcase, turned to face her, and said, calm as ice, "I know." Her face went white, like someone had drained the blood from her. Her mouth opened, but all that came out was a pathetic, choked gasp. I saw the messages, Valeria. I know everything. Her legs buckled, and she collapsed onto bed, her eyes darting around like a trapped animal searching for an escape. Wait! Just listen to me, she stammered, her voice desperate but still tinged with that cruel edge. It was nothing, okay? I was bored. You've been so distant, acting like I'm supposed to beg for your attention. The words were a slap, each one dripping with mockery, like I was a fool for not seeing it coming. Don't, I said, raising a hand, my voice steady but cold. Don't insult me more than you already have. Tears welled in her eyes, but they felt like a performance. You can't just leave me, she spat, her voice rising, sharp and vicious. You're my husband, you pathetic loser. You don't get to walk away. I stared at her, the woman I'd loved for 14 years, and saw nothing but a stranger. You should have thought about that before you climbed into his bed. I said, each word deliberate. She lunged her feet, trembling with rage. Please, she mocked, her voice a cruel sneer. We can fix this. I'll end it, I swear. I'll do anything. But her words were hollow, a desperate act from someone who'd already thrown me away. I grabbed my suitcase and headed for the door. As I reached the handle, she screamed, her voice cracking with fury. Don't you dare walk out on me like I'm some piece of trash. I paused, then turned just enough to look at her. You already made me feel like trash, I said, my voice quiet but final. You did that all on your own. And I walked out. I didn't crash at a friend's place or check into a hotel. I just got in my car and drove, the road stretching out ahead of me like a blank slate. The sunset bled orange and pink in the rearview mirror, and I kept going, no destination in mind. My phone buzzed with her calls, her texts, pleading at first, then vicious, calling me weak, spineless, a coward who'd regret this. I turned it off. For the first time in years, I felt light, like I'd shed a weight I'd been carrying too long. Months passed, and I built a new life. I got a small place, nothing fancy, but it was mine. I started running again, something Valeria used to mock me for, saying I'd never stick with it. I reconnected with old friends, laughed more, slept better. Work was good. I threw myself into it, and it paid off with promotion. I even started dating. Nothing serious, but enough to remind me I was still alive, still worth something. Every now and then, I'd hear about Valeria through mutual friends. She'd spiraled, lost her job, drank too much, burned bridges with her snide remarks and bitter rants. Travis, it turned out, was long gone, leaving her with nothing but regrets. One evening, I was at a bar with friends, laughing over a cold beer, when I got a text from her. I messed up, it read. I know I was awful. I miss you. Can we talk? I stared at the screen, her words a faint echo of the woman who'd mocked me, betrayed me, made me feel small. I didn't feel anger anymore, just a quiet satisfaction. I was free, living well, while she was stuck in the wreckage she'd made. I deleted the text, took a sip of my beer, and smiled. For the first time in a long time, that smile felt real.